Hello everyone. In today's video, we will be looking at how to solve a system of equations using the substitution method. Now, the basic idea behind the substitution method is expressing one variable, in this case it would be the y variable, in terms of the x variable, and that way we can substitute the new value for y in the place of the y, and that way we could just go ahead and solve the equation with only x's. In this case, we will be choosing this y variable because the coefficient on the y variable is a 1, and so it's a little bit easier to work with. If we wanted to use this variable, we would have to get rid of the 4, and that would involve an additional step. So first, let's look at how we can isolate the y and express this equation here in terms of y. To get the y variable by itself, and I'm just gonna start over this equation by itself so we can work on it. To get this y variable by itself, we need to get rid of the 2x that's right next to it. And the best way to get rid of a positive 2x is to simply subtract 2x from it. Knowing that we have an equation and we must maintain this equal sign, if I subtract the 2x on this side, I also have to subtract the 2x on this side. And what we will end up with is that 2x will cancel with that one, and we're left with a y by itself. And on this side, we have 6 minus 2x. If it makes you feel more comfortable, you could rearrange the terms and rewrite it as minus 2x plus 6. And now we know the value of y. Y is simply 6 minus 2x, or minus 2x plus 6, whichever you prefer. I think we're going to go with the first one for now. So let's come back to our original equation, and in the place of the y, we can now plug in our new value for y. So let's rewrite this equation: 3x plus 4, and instead of y, we're going to put in 6 minus 2x, because we just agreed that that is the value of y over here. We still have to put our equal sign back, and we put 4 back. Now we'll have to distribute the 4 to each term inside the parentheses. If you have trouble with distribution, please check out my video on distribution for a quick reminder on how to distribute. So we write our 3x back again, and we distribute the 4 to the 6. 4 times 6, that is 24. We put our minus sign back, we're not changing that, and we do 4 times 2x, and that will give us 8x. And of course we put our equal sign back again, and we put our 4. Now what we have is 3x plus 24 minus 8x is equal to 4. We combine our like terms, that is our positive 3x and our negative 8x, and we will end up with negative 5x plus 24 is equal to 4. We're almost there. Now we need to get our x term by itself, and to get rid of this positive 24, we simply subtract 24, but we know we have to also subtract 24 from this side. And what we end up with is minus 5x, the 24's cancel, equal to 4 minus 24. And you know that works out to be negative 20. One step left. How can we get this x by itself? Well, if we divide by 5, or rather I should say a negative 5 on this side, we could also divide by a negative 5 on that side. And what we end up with is the negative 5's cancel, and we have x is equal to negative 20 over negative 5, which will give us 4. And now we know that the value of x is 4. Now that we have the value of x, we can come back to our original equation. It doesn't matter which one you choose, and we can now plug in the value of x into that equation, and that will give us the value for y. Let's choose the first equation since it's a little simpler because we have a 1 as a coefficient on the y. So now that we know that x is equal to 4, we can take this top equation and write 2 times 4, which is the value of x, plus y is equal to 6. We know that 2 times 4 is 8, so we know that 8 plus y is equal to 6. How can we find y by itself? When we simply subtract 8 so that we can get rid of it and isolate the y by itself. But that would mean we have to also subtract 8 from this side of the equation. I'll put them in parentheses just so you know we're subtracting it. Now that these two 8s have cancelled each other out, we're left with y, and 6 minus 8 will leave us with a negative 2. And now you have found the value of y. So the value of x is 4 and the value of y is negative 2. It's always good to give a quick check just to ensure that these two values will actually work inside your equation. So I'm going to go back, choose one of the equations, and I'm going to plug in both values of x and y and see if our equation turns out to be true. 2 times x, which is 4, plus y, which is negative 2, should give me 6. Let's see, 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus the negative 2, and I'll put it in parentheses, is in fact positive 6. And that concludes our video on how to solve a system of equation using the substitution method. If you'd like to see how to check out solving a system of equation using our elimination method, please check out my video on the elimination method. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click. All right, see you next time.